you might want to check your pulse right there. If you don't feel something, then you're not a rock star. But that intro just psyched me up, got me ready because this is your show. If you're a rock star, you're at the right place. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Josafat, and welcome to Hey Rockstar. It is the one show on the internet right now, well, just anywhere right now, that we give you stories that inspire you to grow physically, spiritually, mentally, socially, and financially. Because then we want you to take all this value, we want you to take all this, apply it to your discipline, so that you can then go and become the rock star of your industry. Man, it's Thursday again. It's the best time of the week. I'm glad you guys are tuning in. We got a really, really good show for you today. This is episode 35, and it is an interview with a rock star. Before we go in, if you do chat, if you do make comments, and if they're relevant to the conversation, I'll highlight them. However, if they're not, we'll just kind of wait and try to cover them all at the end. But welcome. If this is your first time, go ahead and do the thing, the follow, the share, the love. We love when you do that, and it helps get the word out of who we are and what we're about. We're about sharing value. So let's get on to my guest, because my guest is pressed for time. He is a man in demand today. My rock star for you, ladies and gentlemen, is a rock star when it comes to general dentistry, and he's also a mentor and even a public speaker. And me being a Keynote, I love talking to other motivational speakers and such. So I'm excited, and I'm going to read his credentials here because they're very impressive. I don't want to mess him up. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please allow me to introduce to you a graduate of Meharry Medical College and Columbia University Dental School. And he is now owner of Nashville's first 24-hour emergency service dental office, which, by the way, is located in Midtown Nashville. Get your hands together for Dr. Dudley. I love doing those voiceovers, my man. How are you, doctor? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I really appreciate that. That's pretty awesome.
I appreciate you coming in because I know that first of all, not that you're a 24-hour facility or 24-hour office. I know that you're just high in demand, and I thank you for making this window to come and just share value, drop some rockstar gold to my audience, both here in Nashville and globally. So, without taking up any more time, Doctor, would you mind just telling us a little bit about your story and how you got to where you are today?
Well, I'm first generation, youngest boy of 9. Kind of, lost my parents very young. So by losing my parents very young, I learned very quickly that you have to pretty much take care of your business and be responsible for yourself, which led me to, different. I can't necessarily say that every avenue I took was a straight line. But fortunate enough, I had some guidance in my life, which led me to the dental industry. Prior to that, coming to Nashville, I had no idea really what I wanted to be. As a graduate of Tennessee State University, I was able to meet some friends, which, they were on to dentistry. I shadowed the dentist. By shadowing a dentist, I saw what he did and how he affected the community, and how he affected people's lives on daily. And right then and there, I saw the art and the science, and I enjoyed both of those particular careers. And ever then, I fell in love, and I stayed the course. I was started to be committed to it, and every day I was being persistent, and eventually, I was able to reach that goal.
Wow. So you're really strong about community, correct?
I am, absolutely.
Could you just explain to me, or mind describing just, what aspects do you believe what you do now helps your community?
Well, so one thing that I do is try to, things that I can affect as a dentist. I go out into different schools. I give away 10,000 toothbrushes every day just to keep people aware of the importance of dental hygiene. I think that by doing that, I inspire other people to want to go out into the community as well. It can be as little as just giving away, toothbrushes to be able to not only, affect your community, but also inspire the youth to want to see that they can also be inspired to be that, and by the little things. And so I think that, that's just a little thing. Try to do my part in affecting the community. I also work with the youth center where I see the kids that are in the youth center. I provide dental services for them. I allocate a time for them in the morning,
Mm.
so where I do their dental work, and I also mentor to them for probably like 30 minutes to an hour, just to try to tell them or inspire them that that's not like the end of the road for them. Even though they made a mistake as a youngster, that's not the end for them, and they can do more in life. And so I do my part in that as well.
I'm a big advocate for mentorship because I mean we can all go to school and we learn that certain way, but there's something about just having like a parent. I guess to me it's like a like I don't call it spiritual parent, but it can be. But someone in the professional parent that can just kind of walk with you, make time for you, walk you. So when did you see that this was a path that you could do as a mentor? How important is mentorship to you?
Well, I to not going deep into it, but when I was young, I was a troubled teen. Obviously, I told you I lost my parents when I was very young, so I was getting guidance from my environment, some positive, some negative. Um, but it was very important for those individuals that saw a light in me, that wanted to mentor me and challenge me to do more and do better. That made it for me to be able to see that I can do more, even though I was in the environment where the light was dim. And through that, I was able to at least maintain some level of like I can do better. And eventually, I was able to navigate through that and pretty much try to make something out of myself. And I felt like it's my duty to pass that on.
Mm. Now, without mentioning names, or if you can give some examples, it's totally up to you. But have you seen the fruit of that of just giving of your time to I don't want to say troubled teens, but just teens who need guidance? Have you do you have a few success stories of some who have changed?
I have quite a few success stories where individuals, they didn't know exactly what they wanted to become in college, and some went on to go into very high prestigious careers. I have some students that were just in dental school, well, in undergraduate school, that come from a similar background as me, end up going into dental school or graduating either from dental school, pharmacy school, or medical school, coming out this year. To be yeah, so it has paid off, to be totally honest with you. I'm very grateful.
That is beautiful, my man. Okay, so I'm now like little low key jealous because one of my main goals in life is to become immortal. And most people like, what, you want to live forever? Like, no, no, no. And I don't remember who said this. I don't remember what class I read this or what book, and maybe I've misquoted it since. But somewhere I heard that men don't become immortalized by the deeds that they do, but simply by the people whom they've impacted.
Mm, mm.
And you are definitely doing that by impacting more and more lives. Every soul touch, every person you're teaching to fish rather than just giving them a fish are going to tell the tale of the doctor who gave of his time, gave of his presence. And so I applaud you for that, for having the vision to do this and going out forth to go and just touch a little bit of people's lives and help making a difference, and you're making a better world, and you will probably live longer than me now because you are helping more people
Wow,
in that area. Well, I don't
that's a
know
great statement. I never
that's what Hey
heard of
Rockstar
that.
for me is all about. I'm trying to impact as many people as I can so that my story will live on in that area. But let's move on forward because again, I'm sure you can have like guests just show up in your office. I mean, do you practically live there, bro, brother? I
Yeah,
seems like I
kind of,
always see you
sort
at
of.
the office.
I have slowly. I got some volunteers coming in right now to bag up some toothbrushes to give away for this upcoming Juneteenth.
Mm.
We plan on giving away at least 5,000 toothbrushes at this event.
Wow. Okay,
So,
let's go with this first question right here. How are you different than anyone else in your industry?
well, again, what I try to do is try to provide accessibility to my patients. That's why we're available 24 hours a day. I know that other individuals, they work. It was hard for me to get into a dental office when I was in college, and so some people work kind of weird hours, and you'll be available to those patients. That's why we're available 7 days a week. Um, Emergencies after from 8 p.m. into 8 a.m. We do. There is an additional emergency fee for someone to come in during those hours, but still to be open to 8 o'clock to do regular dental work. That's more than most offices do. Um, and I also, again, it's not really all about the money for me. I just try to
Mhm.
provide the best care that I can for my patients. Not saying that other dentists are like that, but that is one thing I pride myself on, assuring that the patient is getting the correct information, the best information that they can. And
You got to get that. Get it.
sorry, no, I'll try to call them later, hopefully. But I'm sure that that's an emergency call at the moment. I'll call them once we're done with this.
No, if you need to get it, man, I totally understand.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Give me 1 second.
do it. So for those of you who are, I'll just talk because I'm good at doing this thing. Let me minimize this a bit. Boom. All right. So let me elaborate a little bit more on the helping others. Whenever you get a chance to give of your life, it's not so much of you're trying to be the hero for everyone. It's more of just you genuinely have a desire to pour into others' lives. Especially if you see someone drowning and you have the capability to rescue them. If you have the knowledge, it'd be almost like it'd be more like
Hey, how's it
it's
going?
such a if I wanted to help someone who is drowning, if I had in me,
Press it
it's
back
the
on.
right thing to do. Now, again, most people are scared to be burned. Most people are scared to be taken advantage of. Most people are scared that, unfortunately, today there's people who are out there just to take as much as you can, but you can't live in that fear
Okay,
of,
well,
oh, I can't
what's
help
going
you
on?
out because I
Okay.
I won't be able to. If I help you out, then you're gonna burn me or you're gonna hurt me. You can't live in that fear. You can't live in that limited mindset that someone's out to get you. You got to be willing to just take that risk and let someone else just help them whenever you can. Give a little bit. Now again, there's wisdom, there's balance. You don't want to burn yourself out. You also need to rest and take care of yourself. But as the doctor was sharing, and we got him back now. Are we good? No emergency.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It was an emergency. He's gonna come in at 7 o'clock.
Okay, sweet. Um, um, right now, where you're talking about the 24-hour dental services, do you see that's unheard? I mean, other than the ER and like the emergency room for other medical needs, that's the first I've heard of a dentist. And usually, dentists like it could be any time of the day where someone cracks their tooth, or you hear stories of that, like and they're trying to get a hold of their dentist, and they have to leave a message and are painkillers. But do you see yourself as a like a trailblazer in this mindset of just being available to the public's needs?
So I don't think I'm the first individual that has done that, and like in all of the United States. But um, what I do see myself as a trailblazer is that I'm actually creating. I want to make sure that we're creating that niche, because you have to. Um, People aren't comfortable, with. You will be surprised, like how many people just, they'll say, "I'll wait till in the morning," or they'll go to
Yeah.
the emergency room, right, and incur a bill, medical bill, rather than just going to the dental office. The physician's not going to be able to do anything except write you an antibiotic and a pain medication and refer you to the dental office. And so
Mm,
what I'm trying to do is basically create that platform for people to kind of save money on a back end. And so like you probably It probably cost you at the least, about $700-800 to go into an emergency room or urgent care
Yeah.
at the least. And so just, you paying an emergency fee for most dental offices, it's probably like $250, $300 for them to come in, plus whatever that fee would be, but it will definitely cost you less than you going to the emergency office and then in turn having to come to the dental office for sure. So in a way, I'm trying to, also save people time and money.
But also, you build that relationship. You build that bond with your clientele because they know they can trust you
Oh
or they can
yeah,
come
for
to you
sure,
anytime.
for sure,
That
absolutely.
that's important. Right now, and this is one thing you can find out about me. When on my show, I tend to take over the show and talk about me when I should be talking about my guest. But as a kid, I had an accident on my bicycle, and a lot of us were like just jumping this mountain hill or this dirt mount. And when I was going up the dirt mount, I hit a rock, a caliche rock. My bike stopped, and I kept going, and I face planted into the bar.
Wow.
And my brother-in-law was working close by, and he saw it happen. And I just remember I just kind of sat there, and I saw him running towards me, and I closed my eyes, and then I blacked out. I opened my eyes. He's carrying me and running with me, and he's running to my parents' house because I live like a few blocks down from there. And I remember I closed my eyes and opened up again, and now my parents were in the car, and I black out again, open them, and now I'm like in this room with this big bright light and this guy with like medical gear over me, a doctor, and they just grab these pliers and they just start like pulling teeth out of me. Of course, thankfully they were
What?
baby teeth, or they
Yeah.
were meant to
Okay.
fall
Okay.
out, but it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
still they weren't ready to fall out. But because I smashed my mouth in, they had to take them out, um, and yeah, and eventually they grew back,
Yeah.
thankfully. But
Luckily, thankfully.
that's just. But I do remember that's all my parents had. They took me to the ER. That's all they could do. And the ER, he just saw teeth dangling there. He goes, "Well, they're baby teeth anyway, so let's just take them out." So I was like,
Which
I
is
had a lot of
crazy.
gaps in my teeth. Thankfully, didn't grow up crooked after that. They still grew
Right.
straight.
Right. 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 For sure.
But all right. So let's go on to the second question right here. If you could change one thing in the world within reason, what would it be?
So one thing that I would like to do in this lifetime is basically uh, create a program where kids can brush their teeth at school. I think that is very important for, like teachers teach you special, social studies, mathematics. I think hygiene is or care of the body is very important. They probably could prevent people from, having diabetes and all these other diseases if they learn about them pretty early. And I think brushing your teeth is one of the main things. Kids, they get breakfast at school and they get lunch, and either one of those times they don't brush their teeth. But
Mm,
how can you tell a kid to do that as they get older if they're not get in that habit when they're young? And I think that they could prevent a lot of caries in uh, impoverished areas. Because dentistry is it can be easily a lot of things can be easily prevented if with the knowledge. And I think that just by implementing a program like that could decrease cavities almost down to like I don't know 80%, something like that.
wow. I didn't even thought about that as a kid. I would. I definitely had some dental work done because I didn't take care of my teeth like I should have when I was younger, and now I'm like, hindsight, like, man, that's the one thing I tell my kids. Hey, you definitely need to take care of your teeth.
But
Uh,
yeah, but
what was
like
it?
if there was teachers telling you that, or if you were in school and they was taught to you on fundamentals, then that would just be a no brainer. But like it doesn't happen, and and you won't, and sometimes you won't get that from your in the house, and so this is definitely, especially because of the diets that we consume in America,
Yeah,
we eat a lot of sugar, and because of that
yeah.
reason, it does cause a lot of cavities, and so, like I said, they can be easily be prevented with 50-cent toothbrush, 50-cent floss.
Uh, right now, I don't know. I was just thinking about your Instagram and some of the crazy videos you've posted on there.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. Have you had success in like helping people prevent things by bringing people awareness of what could happen if you don't take care of your teeth.
Yeah. So if you know, I mean, to short, if you don't take care of your teeth, you'll end up losing for sure. Um, it's like the dentist is like the tax man. You'll pay one way or another. Whether you brushing them, eventually you can literally break your tooth down to a nub, and there'll be a little root in there, and you have to pay the same amount of money to extract the whole tooth as it is for that little piece that you were the main reason why you were trying to avoid the dentist. You'll end up paying for it.
Yeah.
And so, um, periodontal disease is a very common disease amongst I can just say Americans, but for sure throughout the world, where you get bone loss and tissue detachment, which causes your teeth to end up becoming very mobile or cavitated, and because of that reason, you end up having to have them extracted. Um, One of the most common diseases in the world is cavities, and if you don't have them filled, well, if you don't have a cavity filled, it's going to lead to a root canal. And a root canal is basically the mummification of a tooth. You're going to remove the nerve and the artery to prevent you from having pain. They're going to build it up, but it's going to be like a time clock on that tooth. It may last you maybe about 15, 20 years. If you're lucky, a little bit longer than that. But most likely you're going to end up losing that tooth for sure. And so all that can be easily avoided if you just brush and floss. So it really just goes into that stage where gingivitis leads to calculus buildup, which leads to periodontitis, which we just discussed, which is the bone loss and detachment of teeth. That's tissue issues. And tooth issues will be the cavity, then leading to a restoration, which is a filling, which that in turn will lead to probably, if you're lucky, a crown. And then once the crown, ends up becoming defected, and then it will end up having to be the root canal. Then after the root canal is the extraction. And either you're going to get an implant or you're going to get a partial. And a lot of people don't like fake teeth, so they'll end up paying for a partial. What could have saved you, implant is around between $3,500 to $5,000 a piece. And most people don't want to pay that. And if you don't replace the tooth, the teeth are going to start to shift for sure.
Ah, okay. So that's the important thing. Once you lose a tooth, you need to put something in there or else.
100%.
Okay. Well, no. I'm trying to give hope to those who haven't taken care of their teeth, and now I want to. Now that I have money, I need to fix my teeth.
Yeah.
There are things that we can do for that, or you
for
just
sure, absolutely.
having an ugly mouth the rest of your life.
I mean, you literally can replace. They got all on four dentures where they put implants in your mouth, and then but it's nothing like your natural teeth.
True that. My dad has all his natural teeth, and he's already flirting with. He's in his 80s, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed that he still has all his teeth. Well, I mean, he might have lost one or two molars, because he did mission work for a while and really didn't take care of his teeth then. But I do remember my grandpa. My grandpa had false teeth, but I didn't know that as a kid. And whenever we take long trips on to go family vacation, he'd fall asleep with the mouth open, and before you know it, his tooth would his front teeth dentures just fall down. I'm like, it would scare me, like, what the heck? And then he would take that, he'll play with me. He goes, hey, you better behave. You better listen to your parents. I didn't listen to my parents, and this happened because I didn't listen to my parents. Like, how? Like, I'm not gonna explain how. Just make sure you listen to your parents. He scared me. My grandpa.
You got toothless.
But he went through a lot growing up as a kid, but he wound up having to use dentures. But other than that, it's just those are stories that I remember from my childhood.
Yeah.
We even buried him in those dentures. All right. Well, all right. Let's ask this question. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I would like to have, expanded my office, created other job opportunities for dentists that are graduating.
Okay.
Kind of mentor them into business, that they can, end up owning their own practice. Know how to put in systems, to make it easier, because it's hard they don't really teach you a lot of business in dental school, and creating an opportunity and a platform for those individuals that are graduating to kind of ease into it to become, because a lot of corporations are to take over dentistry, and it's important to keep it private from my
Hmm.
perspective, and by doing basically mentoring students, and young professionals
Yeah.
into the field and the career, that I can basically empower them to be able to run their own business. And in the next 5 years, I would like to, by doing that, I would expect it to expand my business as well.
Cool. You gonna
So
stick around here in Tennessee, or you plan to
yeah,
go
absolutely.
wherever?
I'll be in Tennessee for a while, for quite a while. As long as the God giving me breath.
No.
So
So you mentioned earlier at the beginning that what attracted you to dentist work was the artistry and the creativeness. Uh,
uh-huh.
are you a creative? Are you an artist?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was young, I used to whittle sticks.
Oh,
Yeah, we try to create all different types of like snakes out of sticks, whatever. Like we would just carve them out. And so I was always good with my hands. I come from a family of kind of artists. My dad he painted a lot. He did a lot of carpentry. So we've always, worked with our hands. And yeah, I was, just kind of writing a list down of the things that I like to do, kind of led me into the field of science. And
hmm.
then, because I'm always an analytical thinker, I like to learn. So it's always continuously, evolving. And in doing that, I can be able to, have a career to where it's continuously evolving. I can grow every day.
Hmm.
And so, um, that is, being able to talk to someone, like meeting new people every day. I enjoy that about dentistry, and and to basically, to a person to have no tooth, or and put something there for me. I mean, like, to see a person face when or when they haven't had dentures for like years, they haven't had teeth in their mouth. People cry a lot, man. Like it's very personal.
Hmm.
Um, the psychology behind it. Some people had issues when they were a kid. Maybe they had crooked teeth. Maybe they had
Hmm.
gaps in their teeth. Maybe had missing teeth, and you were able to just change life with your skill. And I think that I'm blessed to be able to have God given me the opportunity to provide that for people. To be totally honest.
Man, so we need to add like your therapist, your psychologist.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are an artist. You have so much going, and that is actually really cool. I never even considered that part, that aspect of why people do dental work. I had a cousin who was trying to to go to she started dental school, and then something um, happened to I forgot what it was that why she wound up not going. No, sorry. It it wasn't dental school. It was optometrist. It was the eye doctors. Never mind. Totally
Hmm.
different program. So but no, but she wasn't creative at all. So like, that's probably why. But no, that's really cool. Another thing that I wanted to ask you before we go on to the final questions that I have set up for that I like to ask, and if it's okay with you, I heard through the grapevine, and when I was there, I like to associate with everyone in your office whenever I go visit, that you started a mentorship program with. Am I allowed to talk about this with prison teens? Am I allowed to talk about that?
Prison teens.
Yeah, that you started a program to help them out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember I told you earlier? So I had those kids coming in the
Oh, okay.
morning,
We didn't
and
say prison. We said something else.
okay, there are two different groups. Okay, I provide services for young teens, and I provide services for men getting out of prison.
Ah, oh wow.
So men that I know, volunteering at the National Rescue Mission. A lot of those individuals that end up in those programs, you know, um, have gotten out of rehab, and their
Mm,
teeth are, kind of, a wreck because of their past, and they're not confident in going back into work. And when I was there, I raised a lot of money to be able to provide some of the services for them so they can get dentures and, get crowns and so
Wow.
forth. And I said that I would do that if I got my own practice. So I've been working with the National Dismiss House, which is basically a transitional home for people that have done, some time. They're trying to get acclimated back into society. And I think that it's very important to, not discard people. Everybody needs, second chance. I was
Yeah.
given second
Yeah.
chances, and again, talk to the kids. Again, they're kids, and a lot of times they take on labels that society has given them, and they're doing it so young, and they have so much time, so much life to live. There's, like maybe I don't know what their circumstances are. Some,
Hmm.
are. I don't really think any kid is genuinely bad. They just don't have people in their lives that can, mentor them in the right way.
Yeah.
And just making sure that I'm providing that time, for them and genuinely talking to them and seeing what direction, that they want to go in. Some of them, since I've talked to them over the time that they've been in there, they've obtained their GED or obtained their high school diploma. They're thinking about going into trade school. And, some of them said once they, matriculate out that they would try to, come and work with me or work for me. Someone want to go into marketing, things like that, just giving them hope again, a place where, light is dim sometimes, and so if if I can be that beacon for them, I'll be that.
Dude, that is awesome. That is way more than I had heard from you. Just because there's such an importance, and I shared this on Monday. I had a little mini shows that I call minisodes, and I talked about change your perspective, and mainly the perspective that you see yourself in, and it has a lot to do with identity. A lot of people have an identity crisis because they identify with their past failures. And
Hmm.
I've shared this with you that you need to stop, you need to detach yourself from that past failure and start bringing in things to add that confidence to build yourself up, to become a rock star, basically. And then start walking in that truth, that new truth. But it all starts with that identity. But I never even considered that a lot of people can't reach that identity because the scars of their past are evident physically, like
Hmm.
teeth or something like that, that you
Hmm.
need
Hmm.
to,
Yeah.
if you could just change that little bit, that gives you just enough of at least the physical confidence to move
Yes.
forward. Or like, I was talking yesterday, I had dinner with a friend, and I rewatched the movie. um, I can't remember. Suicide Squad. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I'm a Will Smith fan. I like Will Smith in anything. But in this movie, the guy called Diablo was talking about, and spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen Suicide Squad, sorry, I'm gonna spoil this for you. But Diablo was talking about how he couldn't be he was a bad guy because he accidentally killed his family in his rage. And the girl who played Harley Quinn looked at him and goes, "You need to own that." Well, she said some other stuff. She goes, "You need to own the fact that you did this. Own it and move on.
Hmm.
Use it to learn and move on." And I was talking to my friend that, to me, whatever we become, whatever we have, don't identify it, but own it. For example, whenever I hit that depression and I gained all that weight, I didn't blame my circumstance to whatever caused the depression. I blamed it on me. Like, I own the fact that I allowed myself, I allowed myself to gain the weight, to fall into this depression. I allowed myself to just not take care of myself, and I am not happy with I am. But I own it. I know that I did that. So now that since I did this, I can also change it, and I can now start moving forward towards changing them. I've been working at it. It's a long process, but I'm still faithful because I owned my past failures. I own my mistakes because I know I made them intentionally. I made them, but I'm moving forward. It's not me, it's where I was, and now moving forward. So the importance of just changing your mindset, changing your that ability to just get out of your own self to go towards where you want to go, if that makes any sense, my brother. I know we've
Yeah,
talked about stuff like
that's
that.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. It's a hard thing to do, but once you do that, you can pretty much accomplish anything.
Yeah, yeah. And of course,
Yeah.
to be able to change physical attributes like that, man, I
It's a start.
applaud you
It's a start. It's
100%.
a it's a start. Like I know. Like I can tell you multiple stories of clients that I can just they hold the way that they walk, their whole demeanor just changed instantaneously. It just happens when you can look at yourself and feel pride in yourself. It's a
Mm.
powerful thing, man.
Oh,
I didn't realize the power of that until became a dentist. Like, I got into it because I'm like, oh, this thing is nice. Oh, I can help people, not really understanding the psychology behind it until I actually got to the field. I'm like, wow, this is really life changing. Like,
mm.
get the confidence to approach the world in the way that they feel necessary. Like, and some people don't need it, but for those who do,
Yeah.
we provide that opportunity. So,
No, I appreciate you sharing. I'm about to ask the final questions. We've got about third. We got more than half hour of good value. Because I know you have people about to show up. So
yeah.
to begin to wrap the show, one of the questions that I like to ask every guest, and I've kind of already shared this with you, is what disciplines or habits have become canon in your everyday?
Also, every day I wake up, take the time to speak in gratitude for sure. I literally take about 5 or 10 minutes to, be thankful that I'm breathing, that I'm walking, that I'm thinking, that I'm in a position that I am. And, that way I can be grateful for what I do have. I settle my mind. I then think about what I want to do for that day, what I plan on accomplishing, the goals that I would like to reach. Ideally, try to visualize myself doing
Mm.
that. There'll be a procedure, like and I had to learn. I took a time, saying to train myself to ensure that I'm doing these things, and then I check my bank account to see how things are, like making sure that my business is being taken care of, things are being deducted out, taken in, and so forth, and check my emails. Uh, and I write down a list of the things again that I plan on accomplishing. I put it on a sticky note, and then I make it happen. And then once if I accomplish those goals that I wrote down that day, I feel like that was a successful day.
That
Just
is
bit by
awesome.
bit. I live brick by brick. I live by the same brick by brick every day. Just try to do the best work I can, my patience, and accomplish every mini goal that I can, that I set forth, the big ones, and then the little tiny small ones. And then, that empowers me to know that, at least I'm moving a little bit forward. And I do the
Mm.
daily routine.
You create momentum, and that's momentum. You just keep going, my man. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it because you say a lot of things that I also agree with, and I've shared with you the me plan, the meditation, and then execute, then
Yeah,
repeat, and
yeah,
it's just a powerful little
yeah,
plan. But
yeah, yeah.
I've
Yeah,
had
that's
to
why when you
redo it.
said that to me, remember we had a moment in space. I'm like, wow, there's not many people that get that, man. Like you said it in a way that I was like, okay, all right, yeah, that's it right there. That's the plan.
And I've had to do. I was working on my speech, and I had to as I was speaking it towards me. When I hit that part, something hit me like, "Hey, I right now need to take advantage of these words." And as I was talking my talk, I was putting my life where I'm at right now, and doing the meditation and doing the work, just doing the work. And like, all right, it's time for me to make new moves, move forward. I mean, I've enjoyed this season, but it's time to move forward because the rock star in me is calling me to go and do greater things. And so a lot of other things, opportunities are starting to happen. And I'll share with you later on
Yeah,
after the show. But okay, next question. Next question that I like to ask all my guests is, what little bit of advice or what first step could you recommend that our audience can now take and put into practice so that maybe they can eventually become the rock star of tomorrow? Just one little bit of
I
advice.
think I had this conversation. conversation with you, what I try to tell when I mentor people, I just live by the acronym that I created, CPR, to where you're
We love acronyms here.
whatever you want to be. And I didn't tell you this. Well, the CPR is how do you breathe life into something that you want to become, or you have to be first committed to that. And that means waking up every day, taking a little bit by bit, brick by brick, like laying the foundation to that. And then the P being persistent, and persistence being not just being consistent, but being persistent, because that's pursuing and having the fortitude to keep going even when there's obstacles in your way. And then after you become committed and you become persistent, eventually you're going to reach a goal that's bound to happen. And then you have to be resilient, and that is your ability to uh, uh, come back to form. And what I mean by that is, when you're trying to maintain, whether it be your business or what you're doing, days you're gonna be bent out of shape. It's gonna be days where you're gonna be stretched and stressed, and you're gonna have the ability to come back to your original self to perform at the same level you were before, if not at a higher level, in order for you to be able to maintain your position. And so you have to be resilient, the ability to come back to your original form after you've been stretched or strained. And so that's CPR. Be committed, be persistent, and be resilient. That's the simple pearls that I would drop.
Ladies and gentlemen, he just dropped not just pearls, he dropped some Rockstar gold. That's what I like to call the value that
Yeah.
my guests bring to the show. Oh man, Dr. Dudley, it's been an honor, a pleasure having you on my show. The last question I like to ask everyone, if you want to be found, besides how can people find you?
You can find me on my IG, which is Nashville Smiles Up, or Smiles Up Nashville.
Oh, I should have
Uh,
tagged that one instead of your personal one. My bad.
or either way, or the DOCC06. Follow me there as well. All my content is clean. You see my personal life. This is my person. This is my life.
It's
Dentistry is my
scary, but it's
life, baby.
clean. The
Yeah.
teeth, some people's teeth, it's scary, but it's clean content.
Yeah, man. There's more content to come in the future. So, I would love for more followers. I really appreciate that. And again, man, I really appreciate you having me on this platform. It's amazing, man. I love what you're doing, and I hope you continue in great success, brother.
Oh man, I appreciate your time. I'm gonna go and close the show down. I'm gonna leave you on, but I also just want to say that the Instagram, the Hey Rockstar Instagram, I only use it to follow my guests, so that people who go to the show find my guests easily. So I'm sure I'm following one, but I'll follow the other one, the smiles one, as soon as we're done with the show. But everyone, thank you for tuning in to Hey Rockstar, episode 35. It was an interview with a rock star, with the one and only, highly acclaimed Dr. Dre Dudley. I love this little button, man. This has been like the coolest thing I've purchased
I love
recently.
it. I need
But
that.
again, Hey Rockstar is an affiliate with Low Budget Productions. If you have Instagram, if you have Facebook, check them out. Low Budget Productions is spelled with it's spelled with a duck in it. It has something to do with the way we grew up. But basically, in under that umbrella, there are other podcasts that you can check out, be entertained, be just have value added to you. And if you are a podcaster and you just don't know where to start, reach out to us. We're constantly helping and mentoring and just showing people how they can help tell their story via podcast. Or if you want to do a live stream, I already know how to do that too. So reach out to us, and that's Low Budget Productions. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to Hey Rockstar. We are so glad that you took the time to let us into your homes and for letting us into your cars and for letting us into your hearts. So we hope that you take all this valuable information, apply it to your disciplines so that you can then go become the rock star of your industry. So all the way from Nashville, Tennessee, this is Dr. Dudley and Josafat Emiliano, and Miguel's back there doing his thing. We just want you to have a great night. And until next time, much love and many blessings.
Peace.
Yeah.